So this is an explanation of how vouchers work. So what you see on the screen there is a neighborhood. Take a look at the clip art of who makes up our neighborhood and what do you notice about this neighborhood? It's a pretty diverse neighborhood. And because we see we've got a Muslim couple, we've got a couple without children, we've got couples with children, we've got interrace couples, we've got older single people, we have homosexual couples, we have heterosexual couples, we have single parents, so on and so forth. So this is a very diverse neighborhood. Maybe not very much reflected in reality, but for the purposes of this explanation, it's going to come in handy. Now, if you also notice in the clip art, all of the houses are exactly the same. So we're going to pretend that all of these houses are worth the exact same amount of money, appraisal value, and so therefore each one of these houses pays the same property tax, income tax, everything like that. And also for the purposes of simpler explanation, we're going to conflate all the levels of government, federal, state, local. We're going to just call them quote unquote government. So looking at this household, there's 10 these households. There's 10 houses in this neighborhood, and they're all paying taxes, and the taxes that they each pay goes into the government, which is why the arrows and the dollar signs are pointing in towards the government, and the government gets $100 from this community. So there's 10 houses, 10 into 100 means that each household is paying $10 in taxes. Again, that would be nice, but it's not reality, but simpler for explanation. Okay, now once the government has gotten the $100, government then turns around and sends money back out into communities to pay for certain programs, things like healthcare, which we see in the upper left here for, $30 of the 100 is going to be going to that, 25 of the 100 is going to be going to like road upkeep, $15 is going to go to libraries, and $30 is going to go to the public schools. Again, these numbers are not at all realistic. So when you think about it for a second, so if a family paid in $10 and the government got a total of $100 and then they divided it this way, it basically means that each family's tax dollars, $3 of it's going to health care, $2.50 is going to the road, $1.50 is going to libraries, and $3 is going to public schools. So that's kind of a simplistic way to think about it. Now, if a voucher program is in place, basically the government gives each family with kids the amount of money that would have gone to the school per kid. So let's go back and take a look at the neighborhood one more time. Let's count how many children are in the neighborhood. So here we see 1, 2, there's 2 kids here in this clip art, 3, 4, and 2 kids in this picture, 5, 6. Now remember, the school's got $30 to teach 6 kids. So per kid, 30 divided by 6 equals $5. So it's $5 to educate each child. So if a voucher program is in place, the government will send to each family a voucher or a coupon, whatever you want to call it, for $5. It's not cash. It's not like the family can just stick it in the bank. They have to use it for schooling. So they've got $5 to spend. Now, you might be saying, well, wait a second. All of these other families put in $3. Remember, $3 of their money went to public schools, but they're not getting a check back. Why is that? Well, they don't have kids, so they don't get a voucher. It's just the families with children would get the money that cumulatively would have gone for their kid to be educated. Now, once the family has the voucher, it's time for them to go shopping. And so they're looking around, so that's why you see like a $5 and a question mark, that they're looking around at the marketplace of schools in their community that their kid could possibly go. And so they look at St. Mark's Catholic School, Temple Beth Israel School, the Al-Hadi Islamic School, Worthington Wealthy Prep, and so on and so forth. So say, for example, this family says, I want to send my kids to St. Mark's Catholic School. Well, the tuition is $5. Their voucher is $5. Tuition will thus be fully covered by the voucher to go to St. Mark's Catholic School. But what if they wanted their kids to go to Worthington Wealthy Prep? The tuition there is $10, but the voucher is just $5. So what does the family have to do? They have to come up with an additional $5 on top of the voucher. And like in this family, they can't say to the daughter, "Oh, sorry, daughter, we don't like you. We're going to send both vouchers to pay for your brother to go to Worthington Wealthy Prep." No, it doesn't work. The voucher sticks with the kid. So if they wanted to send both their kids to Worthington Wealthy Prep, they're sending in two $5 vouchers and need to come up with $5 for each kid additional just to send their kid there. Plus, Worthington Wealthy Prep doesn't have to accept them to go to Worthington Wealthy Prep. They might say, "Oh, those kids are not the caliber that we would like them to be," or they might accept them temporarily and, cash in the voucher, and then 3 months down the line find that the kid is, emotionally behavioral disturbed issues, and so they kick them out or something, and the voucher does not go back to the family. Because of bureaucracy, it stays in the schools. Now, take a look here at the KKK school. Again, it's an extreme example, but a voucher school could be any private school. Any private organization could conceivably open a school under the purest form of this idea. And so it's probably unlikely that the KKK school would accept this kid from this family of color, or maybe even not accept these two kids from this homosexual couple. So it's the school, in a sense, who's also choosing in addition to the parents. And let's look over here at our little public school over here to the right. When the money is leaving the school and going to these private schools, the economies of scale get messed up at the public school. In other words, when you group a whole bunch of people together, you actually end up saving a lot of money. It's kind of like when you go to the movie theater, you can buy the small popcorn for $7 or the large popcorn for $7.50. As the scale gets bigger, the more economies you save. Like, for example, in a classroom at Radford, if there are 5 students in there, the university is probably not so happy as they are if the class has 30 students in it, because the seats are all in there, the teacher's getting paid the same, the light bill is the same, and so on and so forth. So that's kind of what happens with schools as well, is that once the money starts getting drained out, they have to start putting more classes together, firing more teachers, cutting various programs that were paid for through the extra dollars that were there. So, just because the money's following the children doesn't mean that it has no impact on the public school that's left behind. So hopefully that makes it clear how vouchers work. Again, this is it's the theory, and it is in place in a couple of places like Washington, D.C., Cleveland, Milwaukee, Indiana, and other states are adding vouchers as well.